Good morning and welcome to Ken's Backyard Garden. And today we're going to attempt to show you how to take these, which are the seeds, and mix them together with this and with this, and hopefully come out with a garden. Basically what I've done was take the Jiffy Mix and just mix it with water, and it's in the flat, just about ready to go. I've been using the Jiffy Mix. I'm sure you can find a myriad of other things to use, and if you have something that you like, I would recommend using that. That way you know how to use it and you'll be able to get the best results from it. So with that, we're going to move on to getting the seeds into the dirt. Okay, it's April 5th, 2014, and I guess a lot of people probably would plant by the phase of the moon or what have you, but I had to do this when I had time. So with that, I'm going to start off with my lettuce seed, which I harvested from lettuce. I've got a few of them in a bowl here, and I have the soil, the Jiffy Mix. It's already prepared. One bag of Jiffy Mix to about 1.25 gallons, about 5 quarts worth of water is what I used. And we're going to put the plants all in rows. We're going to use these dividers right here, which I've cut from pieces of vinyl siding when my neighbor was doing his house. So what we'll do is we'll just stand this up and kind of determine, you know, how wide of a swath we want, maybe just a little bit more than 1 inch. Drop that in, kind of smooth the soil up from where it was dropped in at. And we're going to start with the lettuce seed. Now, you know, you could dump the whole pack of lettuce seed out into the bowl, and then you can play with them after you get them all dumped out like that. But myself, I just threw a few lettuce seeds in, and that way it makes it a little easier to handle these tiny seeds. So as I pick them up one by one, I'll drop them in. And I'm not sure even what kind of seed this is. I was given the original seed in a package, and then it came up, did what it was going to do, and it is a real good head lettuce, and everybody just loves it. It kind of comes up, it's football shaped, and it gets to be, oh, maybe 6 inches around, and it's just a nice lettuce. It's red on the top, nice crispy lettuce, and it just makes great salads. It's better than any iceberg lettuce that you're going to get, California grown iceberg lettuce that you're going to find in any of the stores. So with that, I think I need to get another seed out of the envelope. This, they just shake out. This is the way I kept them. I know there are a lot better ways of storing your seeds, and I just have to look that up and get a little bit more, I guess you would say, what would you say? I guess I just have to figure out a better way to store these things on. As I run out of words, I'm going to throw a few extra in. And you can plant these in like a succession planting, get them out kind of early, and then, you know, just keep planting over and over with them until you run out of the cooler weather in the summer. I'm going to throw this right here, and this is the milled sphagnum that I've got here. And what I do is I'll take the milled sphagnum and we'll just run it down over top of the seed. I just use it to cover the seed directly. I don't tamp the seeds in or anything like that. Throw the milled sphagnum down, and you know, you can use a liberal amount of the milled sphagnum, and it gets all over everything, so it likes to jump up onto the plastic and everywhere. But there we have it. After I put the milled sphagnum on the rolls, just tap water once again. I like to use tap water because later on in the summer, when we start to get that droughty stuff coming, and you got to get the hose out, they'll already have been acclimated to whatever tap water you've got in your area, and they'll be ready to go on it. So I like to, hose them in pretty good. As I say, the Jiffy Mix was already watered, and that was a bag of Jiffy Mix to about a gallon of water. Squirt down, try and get that off of that divider piece. With that, I think that's enough water in there. We can locate the magic marker here and get back to today's date, which is April 5th, 2014. So we're gonna go 4, 5, 14, my head lettuce. For lack of anything to call it, as this grows, maybe somebody will recognize the strain, and you could email me and let me know what I've got here. There it is. It's all marked and ready to go. With that, I'm going to continue on, and I think I'll put the tomatoes in next, peppers in after that, and since I am so late, I kind of have messed that all up. The broccoli, cauliflower, and the brassicas, cabbage, what have you, are all going to have to come from the greenhouse, already grown, which is okay. I already do have onions and 2 different kinds of leaf lettuce out, but I don't have any head lettuce, and I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to get these out in the garden as soon as I can. So with that, we'll get the rest of this tray filled up and give you a look at it here in just a minute. Since I am kind of partial to these are the Stokes Super Hungarian Hot Wax. This is kind of like my favorite pepper, and give you an idea how I put them in. Start and just come down the row. This is 2 years worth of seeds, so I've dumped them all in the bowl, and hopefully the seeds that are good will be mixed in. Well, hopefully they'll both be good from both years, the leftovers from the packages. And I get a lot of these. I have a lot to give away to different people, but I like these peppers. They're hot. I mean, they're hot. There's no way around it. They're classified as a hot pepper. I've given plants away to people, I've given the peppers away to people, and I tell them they're Hungarian hot wax, and they're used to a regular Hungarian hot wax pepper, and when they eat one of these, they have a whole different opinion of what a hot wax pepper can become. So there we go. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 seeds down the row for the hot wax. As I continue on, row of lettuce, a flavor burst pepper, which is a green pepper. Your Fort Knox is a green pepper that turns yellow. Of course, the Carolina Reapers, and a Super Hungarian Hot Wax on the hot shells there. And we'll continue on and get the tomatoes loaded up. Oh, I'm kind of surprised to see that you can see the seeds, at least the pepper seeds anyway, going down these rows here. And what I've done is, well, I got the lettuce, and then of course there's flavor burst pepper seeds, Fort Knox yellows, the Carolina Reapers here, Hungarian hot wax. Then I started with tomatoes, and my main tomato I really like is that Parks Whopper. And then another thing that you can do too to kind of save on space is, if there's something that you don't want, that many plants of, split the row in half. So I did a half a dozen Lemon Boy tomato seeds. Then I split it, and I've got the Sweet 100 tomato seeds. And here also the German Giants. And this year I'm going to try the Indigo Rose, which I got from Penny's Tomatoes. And they are supposed to be the tomato with the highest amount of antioxidants of any other tomato. So with that, we'll see what happens. And they are supposed to be a smaller tomato. They're going to be purple in color. I don't know what their flavor will be like, but we're going to plant them and we're going to see what happens. Once again, I'll kind of show this. These are cabbage seeds. They're small, they're round. So, you know, I'm going to put about a dozen of them in. So I get just enough of them in a bowl that you can deal with them. You know, you don't want to try to deal with 1,000 of them at once. Then you end up having to thin them down, and in this system right here, that's a little on the tough side to do. So I am just getting one at a time out of the bowl. I got about 10 or 15 in there. I actually have more than I wanted, I think, but we'll just keep going with it here across the way. This is just a cabbage that I bought Ferry-Moore's seeds off the shelf in the hardware store, or maybe even Ferry-Moore's, I'm not sure. Kmart, Walmart, one of them. I guess I'll plug them all while I'm plugging one, because I do buy seeds from those different kinds of places, along with the seeds from the Park Seeds and Stokes and the seed producers. You know, good seed is hard to come by, and it's valuable, because if you don't have good seed, you're just not going to be able to get what you're expecting out of your garden. The thing I like about seeds is I get to choose year after year the exact same type of vegetable that I want to raise, and they're constantly changing in the greenhouses. So you go through one year, you find something and you grow it, you really like it. The next year, you know, you go back to get it and you can't find it. So you never can find it again. This way you find things you like. You can order seeds from known seed producers, and you're all set. What a mess I'm making over here too, huh? These are Elysium seeds, and they are tiny, tiny, tiny. So what I did was I put however many, 10, 12, 15 of them in the bowl, and these are the ones that really drive you nuts, you know. And if you're trying to sprinkle these out of the package, it's never going to work. So you can grab one at a time between your fingers, and you can throw these down into the starter medium, and instead of ending up with a ton of them and then having to thin them down, you can end up with a nice few plants. And these are going to go into the flower boxes out front, so you always got to have a few flowers there, or else your wife will be kicking you out of the grow room probably before long. And I try and get them as evenly spaced as I can, but they are just jumping off of my fingers into this here, and a lot of them I can't even see where they're going, and hopefully I'm getting them where they need to go. I'm sure that I got a few of them off the beaten path, which is where you're going to want these out in the front. These are a really great ground cover. Elysium, you know, if you don't have time to plant them yourself, feel free to go out to your greenhouse, pick them up. You can buy them in flats. Somebody else has done all the work for you, and just throw them in and enjoy them. They're a nice fill for around different flowers and what have you. And there you have it. Getting the fine seeds in. Get about 10 or 12 of them in the bowl, shake them out. You'll be able to handle them with your fingers. I've tried a lot of different methods for that. They sell a lot of different things, and I don't have to plant that many, so this works for me. And of course, what garden planning wouldn't be complete without putting in something that somebody brought to you from someplace. These are prickly pear cactus seeds, and they were given to me last year by my maybe future daughter-in-law, I'm not sure. She brought them back from a California trip last year, and we tried them then. They didn't work. We're going to try them now. Maybe we can get some of these prickly pear cactuses up. Normally I don't like messing with cactuses, but I've got leather gloves, so we'll give it a try. And we'll see what happens with them.